on? Hey, hello, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Me, it's Egnards. Allie, yeah, I have a morning routine every Sunday morning. It's kind of like a good luck thing, and I just got a late start today, so okay. Brunch officially doesn't start until 8 a.m. and we start at like 7:20, 7:30. So did pretty good there, I personally think. Uh, Xander, before I started this and I was reading your comment, I had no idea what you were talking about, and then I realized that you were talking about my wings that I got. What was that, Friday night? She she doesn't even play video games. She doesn't really like video games. Oh, I gotta take my pill. Thanks, Allie. Um, it's not that she's against video games. She gets frustrated very easily, and any games that give her some kind of goal that she can't complete, she she gets really frustrated and quits. I got her the Spyro collection a few years ago when it came out because she played that as a kid, and she played maybe 2 levels and gave up. The only game that I found that she really liked, and she did spend a very good amount of time playing, was Animal Crossing. During COVID, she spent so much time playing Animal Crossing, and the reason why was because there were no goals, right? There was nothing, like, she just liked decorating houses. Um, so whenever that comes out for the Switch 2, I'm sure that we are going to get a Switch 2 just so that she has something that she can do, and that she can enjoy. Um, just throw cash at the problem. That's true. Brunch does not truly start until you throw out your joke, Hod Hod. What do we got today? My grandpa knew the Titanic was going to sink the moment he saw the ship. He was screaming, warning people not to get on it. Unfortunately, nobody listened. Security apprehended him and kicked him out of the movie theater. I think there's a Bill Hader joke where he was saying he got fired as an usher for Titanic because he spoiled the movie for too many people, and he didn't think that you could really spoil Titanic since everybody knew about it. But though I did read something about it a few days ago. Apparently, the chief baker survived the Titanic because as they realized it was gonna sink, he just got really, really, really fucking blitzed ass drunk, and he jumped in the water and waited in the water for hours and hours and hours, and nobody has any idea how he managed to survive the freezing cold. Um, but that, so be it. All right, let's get into what we got going on today. We'll pop it on over. We'll pop over to this. There we go. Let's see what's going on with TW today. We have an evenly matched TW. Oh, let me do this first. Audio settings. We'll pop that on. We have an evenly matched TW, so we're of course not doing super, super great. Good morning, Womp Rat. It's a little too early for a beer for me. It's 7:45 in the morning, and actually, I said this on Discord a little earlier. I've actually only had 2 beers in total this week so far. I had one Wednesday night when I was doing my video with Pico Burrito, and I had one Friday night when my wife brought me home wings because those wings are just so freaking hot that that's all you have to. You need a beer. It's the only thing. All right. There's really not much I can do here because there's 3 Ahsokas left. I've already used my Ahsoka counter. We still have a bunch of Rays left. I guess I could. I mean, how do you have 6 freaking losses against this? Huh. I don't know. I guess we could throw gas against that, right? Gas should work. If it doesn't, I don't care, honestly. 2 beers in a week is 0 beers. It basically is 0 beers. I just haven't had any this week. I have been trying not to stop drinking, but I have been trying to drink less on weekdays. So, you know, and yesterday we went to the movies. It was a kids movie. Neither of us wanted a beer. My wife was still really tired from the business trip, so she slept most of the day after that. How are we going? Oh, right. This is the first time in ult. Okay. I was like, how are we in ult? Hopefully this works. Am I gonna just Vance it? I mean, I don't want my guild to lose TW. TW hero is something that usually comes out when we're talking about... Ooh, shit. Okay. Well, we might lose it. Thought maybe versus 1, but maybe there's just not enough ramping going on. When it's just Ray. Oh my god. Can I just do something, please? Yeah, I guess there's just not enough ramping that happens. You fucking stop. Alright, well, that is game, set, match. We tried. We tried to help the guild. Yeah, I mean, Womp Rat, it's the summer for me. So, I mean, well, I have like 2 more days of school left. But I have a lot more free time in the summer. It was a Jedi Vanguard Datacron. I just think that because it was 1 versus 5, I don't think gas could ramp that much. It is what it is. Hopefully nobody from my guild saw that. Because this is a very winnable war once we get those 3 Ahsokas down. Morning, Shadow. How's it going, my man? Well, somebody probably did. Oh shit, Hadez is here. I'm showing like how much I care about TW to new guildmates. Wonderful. Aussie Mike, we saw How to Train Your Dragon, which, I mean, listen, How to Train Your Dragon, the cartoon, the animated movie was phenomenal. And if you liked that, you're not gonna hate this movie. But it really is basically a shot-for-shot remake. So I ended up taking a nap. I had just seen the animated movie like a week ago. My wife had never seen it and she wanted to see it. It's not bad. If you enjoyed it and you haven't seen the movie in like 10 years, go see it. Otherwise, I'd skip it. Now, I realize... Yeah, Shadow. So here's how that works, right? If you go to my Egg Game Whore channel, there is a pinned post with a list of feats. And each time you complete one of those feats, it makes money. All of that money is going towards hardware and software for the Gungies. So that's really all you got to do. And we're having fun. We have a guild on there. The guild is pinned in the chat for Egg's Game Whore channel. We've been having fun. We have the games are not great, but we have fun playing them each time. You know, it's just like a fun like Discord building thing. But that is all you have to do. Yeah, Ali, I'm a 1-to-1, so I do all of the packing. The last week, I have packed up like 4 classrooms. I have moved classrooms to other classrooms because there's There is construction going on in my school this year. Yeah, Shadow, it's a fun game. We've been enjoying it. You probably won't make it through all of the feats with only a week left, but you will make it through a decent amount of them because I've done more than half of them in less than a week. Is there an option to normally donate? Here's the thing. I was explaining this to Kazgul last week when we were talking about this game. You know, a lot of streaming culture is like begging people for money, and I get it. Especially if that's your side gig, I totally understand it. I'm not gonna knock it. It's not really my thing. When people donate to me, like, it's cool. I love it. It's really nice. It shows me that they appreciate and value what I'm doing. But I try to look for avenues under which people can support me in fun ways, without having to send me their own money, which is why we've done these in the past. I'm thinking that after this, we should actually be pretty good. We did have a couple of people who donated early on in the Gungies. We had a few people who donated a few weeks ago when we did the Band Vanced thing. And I think we'll be pretty good after this, especially if a few more people jump into it and have fun with us in it. Conquest. I, like an idiot, already did my Conquest refreshes because on Sunday mornings I just wake up and I do it, and then I just got here and realized, like, fuck, I did them already. So I guess I'm just gonna do some 100 refreshes for the hell of it, because why not? I do need, what do I need? Because I wanna, no, I'm not gonna max these out. I need, all right, so I need to go to the 4. Actually, I need currency. But I also need the other stuff. Crap. Okay, I guess we'll just do this. No, I don't always do the hundreds. I never do the hundreds. I'm not as big into this shit as you guys are. Though I am gonna start, I think I'm at a point where I can start taking my shard shop currency and use it towards Datacron stuff, just because I don't really need shard shop currency anymore. Yeah, so Xander asked me last week if we could restart the Vanced ban counter for every dollar that was raised for the Gungies with this. And I said, sure, why not? He's gonna be so gone. He's gonna be gone for months. It's gonna be so fun. All right, Womp Rat man, have a great stream. You know, I'll almost definitely end up raiding into you unless one of the really new guys pops in. Then, you know, I like to show them some love too. Ali, I will tell you, OBS is definitely better than Streamlabs. The only reason that I use OBS, or the only reason I use Streamlabs at this point, is that I love nested folders. I have so many assets and I want them nested in folders correctly. And OBS does not have an option for nested folders, which really annoys me. If OBS had nested folders, I would make the switch over. Hey Nena, and Mystery, good morning, guys. This is actually one of the rare TWs where it's very, very close. But I need to wait. I need to wait till some of the guys who haven't attacked yet wake up, because we have a wall of 3 more Ahsokas. Yeah, night. I know. My HVAC, my wife is sleeping upstairs, and it's annoying to me too. What I would really like to do, possibly with some of the money for the Gungies, is invest in a much better mic that is a little bit, you know, more close spatially to hopefully drown that out. But those mics are also incredibly expensive, and I don't want to burn the majority of the Gungies budget on that. I would like to be able to buy props and stuff. Next week, I have to move my entire setup down into the basement, because if I'm going to do any streaming during the day while my wife is working and while I am at home during the summer, I can't do it from the office. I don't think the HVAC makes as much noise down there. It is annoying though, because I have zip tied, or it's actually Velcro tied. I Velcro tied this entire setup, so I'm gonna have to un-Velcro tie it. Hadez, you're gonna run out of jokes, man. Just letting Egg know the party has arrived. Look at that. Morning, Slooty. Now the party has really arrived. Da, 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 da. There's a few things that I like for the Gungies. So last year I found a Jar Jar tie that I wanted. It was like a $30 or $40 tie, and it was just a pattern of Jar Jar down the whole thing. I did want to buy it, but our budget was 0, and I had already gone over budget by about $100. So I didn't. Someone suggested me buying tinfoil for Fat Phil and having him make a tinfoil hat. Not that tinfoil is expensive, but, you know, we know that Phil can't afford anything with his bad takes. But I just want to be able to buy, like, incidental things. I would say even giveaways, but I'm sure I can convince Meathead to do a few giveaways for us, for the Gungies. The only thing that wanders Hadez's mind is jokes, which means, because he's always thinking about Daddy Egnards, that I am a joker. What an asshole. Improper use of the colon. Oh my god. His yawning is dragging down the quality. That's why we can only collaborate every couple of weeks, because I really don't want his yawning to influence me in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, these guys do. Most yawns in a podcast. The thing is, Phil is a family man, and that's great. I love him for it. I am jealous that he has kids, and so I do respect that he does all of his streaming at like 10 p.m. So I give him a lot of shit for his yawning, but I do get it. That's why I always have to cut him short when we collaborate. You know, he'll be on and he'll be like, oh, it's blah, 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 it's midnight. And I'll be like, I gotta work in the morning. I don't know, you've never watched a Fat Phil stream, Aussie Mike. Phil spends half of his time just going like that. I think he uses it to fill space when he has nothing smart to say. And obviously, since he never has anything smart to say. but not here. No. Shadow, you know, I collaborate with Phil a lot. We are very good friends. My love language with friends is hate. If I say mean things about somebody, it is because I love them very much. I talk to Phil more than I talk to my wife, so I give him shit, he gives me shit, it's all in good fun. Did I... Hod, your princess is in another castle. Or another settlement needs your help. Did I R9 my Tarkin? I did. My clones are fully R9. I would love to do Lord Vader to R9 just for, like, you know, GAC and TB reasons, but I also am probably going to bring my Bad Batch to R9 as well. I am very low on... I'm very low on materials right now. And now that all of my Bad Batches are 5, I need to, like, level them up evenly just to make correct use of the tiers. So now I need to get them to R7, then to R8, blah, blah, blah. It's going to take a little while because I am not made of materials at all. And then when I was talking to Pico yesterday, and I was telling him that because I'm second running Mace Windu, I probably am going to end up doing the Jedi Vanguard too. Yeah, I mean, you know, the thing is with this new raid, my account is in a different position than it was in Naboo. Really, all I have is the new stuff to go for, and my guild needs R9 teams for TB. So, like, it's not a terrible thing for me to bring something to R9. You know, it's kind of like I have to do it for multiple game modes at this point. And R9 materials are a little bit easier to get than they were a year ago. So I don't just see this as going all in for the raid. I also see it as, you know, being able to advance my account in other aspects of the game. Did I do my mod refreshes for the day? I did do my mod refreshes for the day. I did not do your mod refreshes for the day, though. Shadow, which video about the Pico one, the Cantina Farm one? I was prolific this week. I did a lot this week while my wife was away. Man, I feel like I've been so social with people. Hey, Sahil. How's it going? No, I had a student with a similar name. Full name. Not. Oh, yeah, I had so much fun with Pico. I'm excited for the next one. I have Moonborn working on our logo for us. We still haven't landed on a name. I know someone suggested Breakfast Burrito, which we both liked, but we wanted to add some kind of Star Wars to it. And we've been having trouble, like, finding a name that fits the kind of fun but also Star Wars vibe. So we're working on that stuff. And then also, Mystery, the other thing is we have been given guidance this time around that the raid is going to be a year long, right? Naboo, we assumed... Naboo, we assumed was going to be about 7 to 8 months long, and I still think it was supposed to be about 7 to 8 months long. So I don't see, you know, like the ROI here, you know, and Pico Burrito and I were talking about this, like, you have about 6 months to ROI on this raid, right? And that's a decent amount of time. Yeah, Xander, It's so funny because the relic material one, I'm not kidding. Like, I was on a field trip with my kids and it was out in the woods somewhere, some like nature thing. And I literally had no service at all. So I got back on the bus. I saw this thing. I had a 30-minute drive on the bus with the kids screaming. I get car sick really badly, but I was sitting there on my phone, like valuing these packs on my phone while all of these kids are screaming because it's the only thing that would keep me sane. So I don't know. I had a good week last week. It was fun. We got a lot of stuff done. My Cantina Farm video, like it blew the fuck up. I did not expect that. The new Ascension, I don't actually look at the data mines much. I'm assuming it's probably like the Scorch one, right? Because the Scorch Ascension had all of the characters in it. Let me see. Do we actually have a picture of the Ascension? Because normally with the Ascensions we do not. General data mine. In the general data mine? Store data mine. Oh, alright, well let's take a look at this. Take a look. Because I haven't looked. We'll go. Oh wait, no, we want to go to Discord. Let's see. Oppo Scorch, Temple Guard, Disguised Clone Trooper. Oh wow. 100 bronzium wiring for free? Holy tits, that's a lot. For free? Depa Balaba, 50. Pretty not. Oh, this is an expensive boy. Damn. Incomplete signal data. Oppo Scorch. Temple Guard. Bronzium wiring. Oppo Scorch. Oppo Scorch. Oh, I was reading this the wrong way. Okay, it's top to bottom, not bottom to top. I'm a fucking moron. You do not get these things for free. You get this for free. $4.99. This is how much I look at data mines. Scorch, Oppo, Temple Guard 25, Depa 25. I mean, listen, I think honestly, this pack, if I were to value it, it's probably a great value dollar to dollar. But I also think, like, Scorch's shards are effectively pointless. They're farmable now, and if you need all of these things, the Scorch shards are not your problem. Or not Scorch, I'm sorry, Oppo. We've gotten so much from the... We've got so much from the era battles that if you were realistically going for Jedi Master Mace Windu, or if you're even like a position like mine where you're probably like, I can't get Jedi Master Mace Windu. I don't have Depa. I don't have Temple Guard. But if you were even trying or attempting to get him, things like Oppo and CX2 are not your problem. A small amount of Scorch shards or a small amount of Disguised Clone Trooper shards are not going to be your problem. You know, I see the dollar value here. I just don't know who this helps when it comes down to it. You know, like I'm looking at it and I'm like, hey, if I have all the clones. If I buy this, I get 50 shards of Depa and I get what, 10, 35. I get 35 shards of Temple Guard. That's not doing shit for me. And I'm burning all of this value on shards of characters that that I just don't need. So I do see people buying this. I don't I hope the people buying it actually, like, ask themselves, like, will this actually get me Jedi Master Mace Windu in a faster time frame? And I think that the answer for most people is going to be no. Yeah, but even then, Hugsy, like, if you didn't farm anything, it's not gonna get you, it's not gonna get you Jedi Master Mace Windu faster. It's not giving you enough of anything. So I think there maybe is a very specific group of people who maybe brought characters to 6 stars, which I know some people do. It's not a lot of people, but some people do. Those people might say, oh, this is worth it for me. And then the rest of it I'll shard farm. Or I'll crystal, what is it called? Shipment farm. I think it's going to be a very niche community of people that actually are helped by this. I think that some people are going to fall prey to it. And what they're going to do is they're going to say, oh, this is going to help me get it second run faster. And while that may be true, I think that the people who are getting it just need to be careful and double check, you know, that they're actually going to get a benefit out of it. You know, it depends on how close you are, PHX, to each thing. You know, again, I think with Scorch being farmable now, I keep saying Scorch, with Apple being farmable now, and with the era battles, he's not an issue. With CX2 being farmable very soon, he's not an issue. I think the first 3 marquees are essentially non-issues to anyone who is going to second run Jedi Master Mace Windu. I think that Scorch, Temple Guard, and Depa might be, but there will be plenty of time to normally farm them. If you are in a position where you want to get him first run, I just think you would have already done the marquee, because it would have been cheaper with all of the free shards. Now, with that said, I haven't valued it yet, you know, so I don't even know what the value is of the relic materials. This is just me looking at it on a very, in my first look kind of initial thing. Later today, now that I know that there's an actual thing in the data mine, I will probably end up valuing it. And maybe the relic materials make up enough where it's like, oh, this actually still makes sense. I just see it as a very niche, very, very niche pack. Well, is your guild looking to have you go for Jedi Master Mace first run or second run? You know, because remember, you also have a ton of era battles that are going to be coming out and giving you those shards for the second run of the event. Yeah, a dollar a shard is roughly what it is, but like again, Oppo shards are basically pointless. For most people, CX2 shards are basically pointless for most people. Shadow man, take it easy. Go have a nap. I need a nap. I just woke up and I need a nap. Did they say when the return would be? No, they did not. Generally, the first return is about 3 months. Sometimes second to third return has been like wonky. Sometimes 4 months, sometimes 6 months, sometimes 2 months. But typically the first return is 3 months. And that's when I'm hoping to get him. See what we got going on. I have like no materials. Gotta buy the data catches from now on. If I wanna be a Pokemon trainer. End of the this current pirate era, so about 3 months. I'd like to get this to like level 6 at least. Episode era battles in the next. Only 4 coming with the next. Is that what you're talking about? Era battles? What is EB? Because era battles are, we have this week. They show a regular return. We still have 6 more doubles of the Vanguard one, and then 4 more singles. We do not have a lot more of the. We have 3 more of the Order 66 one. Do you have any estimation on when Balin will be back and if he'll be permanent next return? I mean, I'm going to be honest. I have no idea. When did Balin come to the game is really the question, right? Balin, Skull. Check it out. Balin Skull came out in October. So it is very unlikely that his next return will be his. Well, let's see the event. When was the last event? His last event was 66 days ago, so there will probably be a return in the next month. And then it'll be permanent in October. I want second run, third. Well, that's if they're rude. Like, they could really be rude and do that, Allie. I hope they don't do that. They've done it before. If you guys remember. No. What I mean. Wait, so if the 6 doubles left, and what I mean by doubles, it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and then the 4, 14, 16, 18, 20. So technically that is about 20,000 crystals, but one thing to keep in mind is you don't know how easy that tier is going to be, right? It might need an R9 Jocasta new. It might need the whole team to be R9. I literally have no idea at all. Plus the Jar Jar's length time before he went permanent. Was Jar Jar? I don't think he was terribly. Let's see. Jar event, Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, Bombard General. His longest return time, oh yeah, it was 113 days. It was 95 days for the first return, 113 for the second turn, 72 for the third return, and then permanent was 3 months later, so about 90 days. But yeah, so we'll see. Usually there's that many. Maybe Shadow. I don't know. I don't know. I just keep that in mind. I know that there's gonna be a lot of grumpy people who are going to just R9 Mace, and they're gonna be like, "Why can't I beat this? Disappointed," and they'll be very mad. Let's see. Oh, I don't have enough. Yeah. Charge shot. We need these things. Then let's check out TW again. October would be permanent. That is, so Hadez, yeah, if we look at it, typically second return is pretty consistently 3 months, or first return is pretty consistently the 3 months. And then after that, it becomes a crapshoot. And as I was saying before, and then I got distracted, if anyone remembers Grand Inquisitor, the second to third return, it was 6 months. And Reddit was very, very funny during that time because the memes were actually clever. And I took part, a bunch of people took part in it, but like I did one that was like the Grinch with a Christmas hat, and I put Grand Inquisitor's face on it, and it was like, where is Christmas? Where is Grand Inquisitor? It was super fun for like 3 weeks. Everybody was coming up like the most clever things, like taking Grand Inquisitor and putting him in like Where's Waldo pictures. Yeah, I mean, I'm second run. Here's my guys. Here's my Depa. Here's my Temple Guard. I got nothing on them. We'll see. First rerun will probably be about a month after Depa is farmable, something like that, Quentin. Which will give you roughly 30 days, and 30 days at 1.65 shards, right? So 1.65 shards per 5 battles times 30. So it's about 50 shards in a month without refreshes. If you refresh it once, that's about 99 shards. And if you take into account error battles and you take into account having done, you know, hopefully getting them to like 4 or 5 stars at first run, you shouldn't have too much problem. I would probably 2x refresh Depa personally, just to be Egnardians of the Galaxy. Egnard should well, are you referring to my show with Pico C squared? Because I don't want it to be all about me, man. That's the only thing. I want him to have his time in the sun too. Alright, raid. This is our last time doing this raid. So I'm kind of pumped about that. I don't know why I deleted that. There was no reason to do that. We'll do the one I actually have to pay attention to first. I see. Aussie Mike, I apologize, man. I don't see the Twitch redemptions on multi-stream chat, but fuck you, Bones. Piece of shit. Am I gonna put in maximum effort? I mean, I do have to... I can do 4 out of the 5 runs with really no effort at all, and still hit max score. It's really just that Sith trio that pisses me off every single time. Pico and the egg. Xander, when I sent show notes to Pico, I named the title of the document the Pico and Anthony Show, which he thought was very funny, but for those of you who are younger, it was basically the Opie and Anthony morning radio show. So very similar vibe there. I am excited for the logo. I had an idea. I reached out to him. He liked it. Moonborn's working on it. I'm hoping it'll work. AI put together one for me as like a test one. And it looked alright. Moonborn will definitely do better though. Okay, what do we got here? I cannot wait for this to be done. I cannot. Again, I've said this before. I think that this is the best of the 3 raids we've had so far because it, to me, feels like an actual raid, but it's just some of these runs are so long, and with everything, the way that it heals, like, it just doesn't feel like you're making progress at all ever. I love me some SNL. Ladies and gentlemen, coming at you live. It's Sunday morning brunch. Featuring Michael Che, Andrew Desmukes, Heidi Gardner, I have a feeling, I have said this before, that every raid they have learned something and done something better. And I have a feeling that this raid they will have learned a few things. And there, of course, will be certain things that will not work right. There will be things that we are going to complain about, but I have a feeling that it is going to be better. Hey, Caleb. Like this, like, who wants to watch 40 bonus turns? Nobody. Nobody wants to watch 40 bonus turns. Not interesting. Watch them over and over again. Everybody bonus turns. Bonus turns. Bonus turns. You get a bonus turn. Rude. There we go. Why right before? There we go. Oh god, I have not dealt with the DS Ray yet. I have not had a good GAC week. It has not been great for me. I lost my first match, not by a lot, even by 4 points. My second match, I managed a full clear, but it was just a very messy full clear. And then I ended up losing that match, and now, having lost twice, my next opponent does have the DS Raycron. I have it at level 12, so it's not completed. It's annoying because I feel like I'm going to have to restart, and I have not had to restart this team in a very long time. I'm hoping that I'm wrong. I need Obi-Wan to get a turn before we hit 100%. All right, there we go. And we just put it on auto because we don't burn anymore. Excellent. I have heard that it is a terribly, terribly nasty team to fight. You know, I do think, I said this with the Scoundrels, and they were kind of saying the same thing. It is very annoying when the team that gets boosted is a team that's already the Swiss Army knife amazing team in GAC. I really like it when teams get boosted that are kind of out of the meta. The JML one, I really don't think GL teams should ever be targeted. But the JML one I kind of get because JML has fallen out of favor in GAC. Ads? What, you don't want me to get my 3 cents from Twitch? Yeah, I like when it's just something that's like weird. You know, so like the Jawa one right now, I'm not gonna get it. But I do know some people that have gotten the Chief Nebbit one. And are having a lot of fun with it. Like, that one makes sense to me. It's a team that's like very low brow, very low tier. I think the highest level team that should get a Focus Datacron is like a B+ team. Anything else, it's just too much. All right, this is an auto team. Still on the thing. I got the Bo Burnham reference, C squared. It's actually one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite bits from him. I think it's because Chipotle is like my favorite place in the world. Pick cards. Well, we did a while back. We did play the Star Trek game to make money for Child's Play, and that was actually a super fun game. We really enjoyed playing it, but it took way too much time. Just was not conducive to like me and you know, the other people playing to play long term. But I did try to play for a few extra months. Now this team I can actually full auto sometimes, but just in the interest of not having to deal with it, do like a partial auto. Last there, that's nice. Oh my god, if you give a Ray does not need a, like, people would flip a shit if Ray got a Datacron. Like, that is the team that needs it the least. It's such an infuriating team because it's like a crapshoot whether you win or not. You know, sometimes it's like, yeah, you're gonna win this one, and sometimes it's just like, nah, fuck you. We're not doing that this time. Okay. Now it doesn't matter because I already did the one that matters. I know. Well, I'm going to tell you, the next Datacron set is going to sell us something that beats the DS Raycron. The only thing that I will say, and I do not support the DS Raycron at all, but it was primarily an offense team, and now it's a defense team. The DS giving us a Raycron that'll help with Ezra and Ben, that's already a defensive team. It is already a defense powerhouse. Like, people would flip so many shits for that one. It would be beyond, I don't even know if I'd play GAC if that got one. Can we hit the Droidekas with, like, the things that get rid of their... like Shakti, maybe? There we go. See, that helps. Come the fuck on. Am I gonna get trapped behind this and have to do another run? I might get trapped. Alright, well, let's see if I somehow just, like, super fast take this out, but I somehow doubt it. See what happens. Oh, no. Alright, that sucks. Whatever. It's more content. I made you some content. Daddy made you some content. I don't know if C-Squared is still here for that. I don't know if Pirates will have a Focus Datacron next time, just because, what, it'll be a month and a half, right? And till we have that, and we won't even really have a full, strong Pirates team yet. It'll be ahead of SM33. I guess it really depends on who that first marquee is. Plus, you're going to have a... Well, you will, because the next Pirate marquee will have a bespoke Datacron. Definitely. But I mean, in that foursome group. That foursome. Hi, kitty cat. Are you a fatty? There'll be a bespoke one, but I don't think there'll be one in the... Yeah, the next pirate will get a bespoke one. Definitely. Because the next pirate is a pirate leader. So I definitely see them doing that, even though it won't have a full team, but by the time that happens, SM33 will also be closer too. I think that, yes, you know, I think that the Pirates are going to have their own specialized teams, but I do think that they're going to be designed especially to work with those characters, at least for the raid. Nest doesn't really even have a home. We want to think about it. She's kind of like the solo artist that you throw into different teams depending on Datacrons. So I kind of see them getting a home. I do like the idea of there being a light side and a dark side pirate team eventually. I know Young Skywalker had said something about this, and I also like the idea of they're probably going to work similarly to bounty hunters in that they'll get some kind of like quest mechanic. You know, like Pirate's Booty or some bullshit. Where you do a certain thing and you plunder and you get like a buff. And all of our current pirates will retroactively get like something added to their kit. What do we got? Okay. Da-da-da. Do we know that there's going to be 6 marquees? Because remember, we're told that every era, every episode starts with a marquee, but not every 2 weeks has a marquee. Not specifically for pirates, I just mean for eras in general. Have we confirmed that there are 6 marquees? There might only be 5. You know, then again, with it being GL attached, who knows? There we go. Much, 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 much better. Hey, Bozzoletti, good morning, man. I don't think I've seen you around these parts in a while. Is it because I made you a super sweet ad for your guild? I love making ads for Fortuna. They're just so fun and stupid. And somehow people go, yeah, I want to join that guild after he just spent an hour, 2 minutes shitting on them. Which just tickles me. So much tickles me. It's kind of hard to say anything is an outlier or otherwise right now, just because like we don't really have a good basis for any era yet, right? Like we've had so few eras, there really isn't any real pattern for us to go off of. So let me check this real quick. All right, get back after. And if I remember the end of the Bad Batch era, which was actually kind of cool, I think, even though people didn't really like the Bad Batch, the second half had shards for all of them, if I remember correctly. Not as many shards, but still it's kind of a helpful mechanic. I think the reason that the end of the era felt dead is because the era itself kind of felt dead on arrival. I don't really think it had anything to do with not having a character. But at the same time, you know, we hear a lot of complaining right now from people who are like, oh, the cadence is too quick. And it's kind of like, as a community, we have to make up our minds about like how fast we want things. And anytime we take a character, anytime we have a little bit of a rest from a character, that gives you time to work on other things as well. Platoon ability, Legacy of the Sages, doesn't that have to do with Zepho? Wasn't that just like a fix for Zepho? Because isn't Legacy of the Sages like the Zepho mechanic? I'm more interested in the CX2 thing. where CX2 seems to be tagged as a platoon unit. You know, since there is no bonus planet yet. But at the same time, I really don't want another bonus planet right now. I think they need to figure out and sort out TB first. Because right now, like, days where I have to do 5 planets, those days suck. You know, I hate 5 platoon, or 5, oh shit, I just did the wrong thing. I hate days where I have to platoon, or not platoon, do battles on 5 planets. It's just, it's so much, it's unnecessary. Advanced Guild doing Order 66, I got no idea, man. I have no idea what they're doing. I know that they want to do BKM. I don't like follow his guild news at all. All I know, like, is, hey, that he needs to farm and prioritize the, like, Keller and Beck and stuff, so I've been helping him with that, but, you know, I told him, our agreement, even going into the first couple times that I was on his account, was I'm not logging in every day. I will log in when I have time. I will do what I can when I have time, and we have done a lot to help his account. But he has to do his own stuff. If I can get to like 500k here, I'm happy. What is it? Actually, I'm gonna do this one because I generally don't even make it to the 3rd level. Don't even really care that much about if the next one is the one I don't want. Bonus turn, bonus turn. Lots and lots of bonus turns. Who doesn't love bonus turn? This is our last Naboo raid. It just started last night. Next one is going to be Order 66. It's going to be a very busy week with having to, like, deal with Order 66 and Google Sheets. Yeah, I mean, Lightspeed bundles. Look, Lightspeed bundles are great because they're super cheap. You get a lot for your money, but Zetas are very powerful, and if you don't have the Zetas for teams and for characters, it can really significantly impact your ability to play efficiently or effectively. I do think that CG, for people who are purchasing things, they are more open to selling Zetas now. There was a very long period of time where they weren't selling Zetas at all, you know, and it was, oh, fuck, I did it again. That doesn't matter, I don't care. You know, it was, you got Zetas or you didn't get Zetas, so it helps to alleviate the stress, and obviously people want more free-to-play routes to that, but I think that that's the problem that they sold us, and, you know, it's, I believe, very highly unlikely that we're going to get more free-to-play routes for Zetas, whether we want them or not. where we're gonna get stuck behind the droid deca. Yep. There we go. Okay, though. CGS says that they don't like loops, but they have also kind of said that with Datacrons that they're like not gonna do anything because, oh, they'll be gone. I do think when you have like a broken loop like that, it's really annoying and it does kind of ruin the game. I do think that one problem though, should it be fixed? I do think yes, but like one problem though is that when you put a standard into the game, you know, a game where people spend a lot of money, if you fix something like that, it makes people wary of investing in the future because they go, oh, wait a second, I only invested in this because of X and now you're taking X away. So I understand the hesitance to want to fix things sometimes. That doesn't make it right. I just kind of, I get why it happens. Why we get put into that position. Put your cell phone to vibrate. Put your vibrator to cell phone mode. You are, but you know the thing is, if they fix it, then everyone who has it goes, wait a second, I got this so that I could what the fuck own everything. And I do think that they should do that. I do think games like this should have balance passes still. But I do also think that if you spent money on that Datacron, there are potentially legal ramifications. You know, if you spent $50 to get that up there, and a week later they have made it fundamentally different, you have legal recourse, and I think that that's something that a lot of players don't think about. And I think it's something that their lawyers are always on top of, and it's something that they have to be very, very, very careful of. What do we think? Should I run this? I mean, I can probably get that 8.2 to an 8.6 without having to refresh, or an 8.5 without having to refresh this. Should I run my Sidious team in earnest for one more time? Or do I say, yeah, fuck it, and just run it and get my 8.6 and call it a day? They have changed crons before, and I'm not, like, again, I do think that it should be altered. But I also think that it's a more complicated issue than a lot of players think about. That's all I'm saying. Do I think it should be fixed? Yes, I do. 100% think it should be fixed. 100% I think it should be altered. God, all right, we'll do it. I just have to log into, actually before I log in, I have to make sure I have room. So I have to run my mod filters. We don't want to get into a position where I don't have enough mod room left. That's always a scary position to be in. Then you don't know what you're deleting. Wish you could run these on auto. That would be so great. What is my mod score? I'll you know, we can check. I'll check after I run hot utils. It's not amazing. Let me run hot utils and then we'll check. Okay. Last time I fetched data was 6 days ago. Owie, look, you know me. You see me. I'm on a lot of the same stuff you're on. You pop in here all the time. You cheat on me with other creators. You know that my stance is always going to be more. It's always going to be more toned. Even when I'm pissed off about something, I'm going to say it in a very, very specific way. I think that add missing characters. You know, in this specific instance, I'm not saying it shouldn't be changed, and I fully and 100% get where you're coming from, and I do fully and 100% support them fixing that cron, which is just terrible right now. I'm just saying that I do get that there are a few legal ramifications when you have a cash game like this, and whether they're polycreatorous, whether or not they have the ability to change a specific thing probably does come down to not just going, oh crap, we messed up, let's fix this. It probably does have to go through their lawyers, and they have to go, okay, we've isolated this thing, and then like let's bring it to the lawyers, and like let's check out what the how many people have spent money towards this, and like, can we change this? Will there be an issue? Does it matter? Are we losing? Probably a very complicated decision. I do support it being changed. I'm screwing with you too. I love when I see people all over the place. I do think, you know, one thing that I come back to a lot is I wish that there was still a testing area of the game. I wish that there were people who were a part of a testing program. And unfortunately, that was ruined by someone who released a very large data dump of information. How effective was that testing program? I don't know, you know. For all we know, there was a million things that could have been way worse if not from it could have been way worse from like the standpoint of going like, oh, Datacron, you know, because Datacrons was the thing that it was the straw that like made the leak happen. It could have been, oh, these were 10 times worse than they were, and they were, you know, a little bit better because of testing issues or testing things. Hold on. I will be right back. I'm hearing an alarm, which sounds like my water alarm downstairs, but it's not even raining, so give me a minute. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Yeah, it must have been a false alarm, but ironically, as I went down to my basement to check the water alarm, I started to hear thunder rumbling. So that's going to be fun. I guess I'm not going to be mowing my lawn later. So testing program, here's the thing. Testing program for a cash game, you know, a lot of people think like it's going to... See, this is my one refresh condition. They think it's going to be like, oh, you're going to test this, and then they're going to say, oh, we hate this, and they're going to just change something. And that's not how it runs. You know, broken things, depending, will get fixed if it's like legitimately actually broken. You know, Owie, what I will say to you is, why do I have four? Auto. I do try to look at things from the perspective of all players. I obviously do not. I do not have an early game account. I don't have time to have a second account. I just don't. I do hear from a lot of players. I talk to a lot of players. I do pay attention to Reddit, even though I'm not posting there anymore. I do pay attention to the players on Discord. You know, some of my premium members, they have like a special system that they talk to me on, and they're all over the place in terms of where they are in the game, and I kind of get perspective from them. But I think also is that people get upset about something and they only look at the player perspective. So then they take their anger to 10. And what I try to do is take what the players at the low end are saying and also take what the players at the high end are saying, and then take it what I think is reasonable from a business perspective, because this is a business, and I try to formulate my opinion based on all three of those things. And oh, I forgot to look at what the modifier was. You know, I do have confirmation that certain things that I have done in this, oh, I forgot again, that I have done or said have informed actual change. And that's because I take all of those things and I say, hey, what is reasonable to be done that we can actually legitimately expect to be done? Why? Like, why you gotta this shit on me? And I think that like, I think that that is why a lot of the times I get frustrated when I read some opinions from people, is because the opinion that they give is completely unreasonable to the perspective of like a company making money. I don't even care. I don't actually have to win at this point. I've got the points that I need. You know, I don't take I take GAC more seriously than I have in the past. But the reason that I don't take GAC super seriously really stems from just time. You know, it's time and understanding where my resources will be better spent in order to affect change on my account. Well, again, Aoi, I'm not taking it seriously. I'm literally telling you that I agree that it should be changed and fixed, right? Like, I am saying, yes, it should be changed. I am, however, saying that I do understand that there are legal ramifications, and that's why a fix like that may be stalled. You know, GAC is a game mode that is very time consuming, especially if you want to play it at a very, very, very high level. And I don't have that kind of time. I don't have time to wait. I don't have time to scout out my opponent. I don't have time to like play in the last hour. And I've lost plenty of matches by people who've played in the last hour and they were able to just slightly edge me out on efficiency. I don't have time for that. Well, we're losing after this. Well, Caleb, I mean, I've already said it 4 times at this point. I do agree it should be fixed. Right? There's not many other ways that I can say that. Like I do agree with that perspective. Oh, so close. If I got past 7, I would have been good. That's okay. I don't care. What do we need? Need an arrow magnifier. Need a lot of things. Damn. Want more of these right now. Take some of those too. I don't need med packs right now, which is surprising. Anything I only have 200 of, we take. Don't have enough for that. Okay. All right. So now we have to go. Oh, we have to. I do think it should be fixed. We have to go back to hot utils, and I forgot to check my mod score. And I think someone had mentioned, you know, the terms of service protecting them, and you know, when it comes to the even like the European Union and the United States, and I don't want to turn this into a political thing, so I'm just gonna say that we have found that with terms of services, a lot of things have become unenforceable. In the last decade, where we look at terms of services and say, no, we don't care that that's in there. It's not enforceable. And that's what those legal teams are for. You know, I cannot tell you what's going on behind the scenes because I don't work for CG. All right, we're loading up our mods. Allie, it's the same thing in my 3rd grade class. Anytime the kids will ask like something 14 times, I will raise my hand and I will ask the same question just to piss people off. My kids this year are self-aware enough to know that I'm making fun of them when that happens, though. Which actually makes it even more funny to me. I'm reporting to Meathead right now. Actually, one time Meathead messaged me on a weekend, not about the game. He never messaged me about the game, but he messaged me on a weekend, and I asked him if he was okay because he never talks to me on the weekends. I was like, something's up. What's wrong? Are you okay? Is everything all right? I need to know. All right, my mod score. There have been a lot of players there that have been accused of cheating. I'm getting close to the group of 4 of them in K1. I have not. I don't know about the Phantom Menace Guild. I am fully and 100% unaware of them. My mod score. Let's check this out. Go over to Discord. This is not my score. This is Vance. Mod score. I should not. All right. So here's my mod score. It's not super amazing, but it is, you know, it's getting better. A 20 for my top 110 from Omega. I don't know what score people typically look at the most, but really it's the worst thing. Let's see. Omega 9.43. Let me see the last time I checked my own mod score, which is probably not that long ago. So it's increased a little bit. I've never seen these guys. I've never heard of these guys. I always find it funny. I see there's a Mona Lisa in here. I always find it funny when there's a Mona Lisa in high level guilds. I wonder, just one recently though. I wonder if it's that guy from that guild. Is that, I don't know. I have not spent as much time working on my mods as other people have. So, you know, I'm sure there are, you know, like the one thing Fat Phil probably has on me is that his mod score is probably better. I'm facing another Mona Lisa. So Shadow World Umbra. And then I lost to one last match. From Allies of the Force. Like, it's crazy to be that far into a game and not change your name. To me, at least. Put down that wall. Okay. This is getting tough. What is this? Sea Bane versus Omace. Bane plus for 1 for... Oh, well, it sucks that I don't have gas anymore. Sea Bane for Omni Mace. Do a Sea Bane here. Right? I shouldn't need that, but... do it. Well, when you face them and you lose to a 2087, can't you look at their GAC history? If you're underage, you can't change your name. Didn't know that. This should be easy, right? Like, I've actually never done the Seabane thing. Never needed to. Put it on auto and see what happens. And then Hadez can spy and tell my guild that I'm playing like shit. Be like, this is why we always lose TW. It's because Egnards doesn't give a shit. He does the battles, but he doesn't care. Just sits there. Hey, Murricane. I didn't realize that there was somebody on the enemy team that stole max health. Hey, Ghost, yeah. I reset it whether I spend money or whether somebody else buys me a pack. And somebody last week, I think it was Mystery, right? Mystery, if you're still here, I'm almost, oh fuck, my TW officer is watching me too. Shit. They bought me the episode pass, so I reset it. See, that's... Now, unfortunately, Def, I used my gas trying to clean up a ray, and so I cannot use my gas to clean up another one for you. We are going to stall a little bit before we go to roster reviews, because if somebody is able to take this lovely thing out, then I can help with the next wall, which would be nice. Oh, it looks like they're awake now. They're trying. They want to break that wall. Having trouble here. Only my guild leader watches my streams. I don't watch a lot of streams, Ali, if only because I don't have time. I do like to chat with people on their streams. I know Rabid Beaver had his AI stream a few days ago, and that was fun. Owie, that's true. I've always said that I don't, like, it's crazy to me that people get caught cheating. Because in my head, I'm like, if I were to cheat, I feel like I would try to make it less obvious. Like, it's super obvious when you win with, like, the most ridiculous one character. Hey, Berm. And I'm gonna do a 5 a.m. stream one day. Get a 5 a.m. stream to get you. Berm is a friend here. You guys should all go follow him. He's always popping in and raiding us. He spends way too much of his time in the early morning hours before people are awake. Berm, I don't think you understand when I wake up. I wake up very, very early in the morning. Come on. Just want someone to take this out, and then we'll go into roster reviews, and we'll do all that stuff. So that Def doesn't yell at me, and my TW officers are all like, you suck at TW. 100% in TW can also just be full on TW like craziness, like really focusing on that. I don't understand it myself. Not something that I will ever do. Don't do that. We already bought this stuff, right? Yeah. Def, just so you know, by the way, I tried to get your Jedi Vanguard Echoes of War set. It's not working for me. I'm not getting it. It's not popping up. I keep getting DS ones. Yeah, if we can break this Ahsoka, that'd be nice, because I don't think they're going to break here. Alright, we're going to just wait to see how Spaceman does. If Spaceman beats this battle, we have one more TW battle. If he does not beat that battle, then we will just go right into reviews and everything. Well, we'll take a break, quick break, and then we will go into reviews. And while we're waiting for Spaceman's battle, I'm gonna do all of my shit in the other silly game so that I can make Gungies money. What is my guild name? We're Awakened Mandalorians. You can look us up. You could also just look up Egnards.gg. Yeah, I mean, I get why you're bringing it up, Owie. There's nothing I can do about it. So it's not like somebody cheats. What can I do? You know what I mean? Like, I don't have any power to fix that for anybody. You can always report the guild. Generally, reports seem to happen in batches where they don't do very much until they have a bunch, and then they end up doing a lot. Come on, Spaceman. Let's get to the next wall. Let's do it. No, I mean, I don't know Fatal very well. I think Fatal and I actually got off on the wrong foot years ago on Reddit. I was being an asshole during my asshole phase. I did apologize to him recently as we've moved into, what we do now. And Crsonic is a good guy. I know he wouldn't say shit about guilds unless he had a credible reason. "20 wins in a row. Damn, we won our last one, so I already don't expect to win this one. If we do, I'll be very surprised. Come on, Spaceman. Move past my butthole stage." Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, we're getting closer to that one. Yeah, I definitely had a phase where I was a lot grumpier of a person, and it was a while ago. It was a long time ago. I've moved past it over the last couple years, and I am thankful that I had the opportunity to, talk to him and just apologize for that, because I do think people need to be better about apologizing. All right. Since Spaceman did not finish that battle, I will take a very quick break and to fill up my water cup, and we'll get into some reviews. It seems we do have some time for some reviews. Allie, we do, I think it's 3.5 minutes of ads an hour. It helps pay for the multi-streaming that we do. We could all do Amazon Prime sponsors stuff and gift subs and everything, but everybody bitches about ads, and I try not to, but I gotta cost me money to multi-stream. I will be right back, and we'll do whatever reviews we can for the day. So give me 2 minutes. Ooh, I just saw a huge flash of lightning. And I can hear the rumbling of thunder in the background. Okay. See what we've got here. Oh, I guess I can check this battle again now that the break and just see if it's finished. No. Ah. Will our TW officer finish this? That's right, Hurricane, man. Everyone's an Amazon Prime friggin' subscriber. I mean, it kills me. I've been a Prime subscriber for 10 years, and even though I don't watch a lot of Twitch, it kind of kills me that for like 8 fucking years, I never do, or it wasn't 8 years, but like for however long they've owned it. While I'm setting up sources, we will see if my TW officer can beat this. So we have Discord already up. Let's see, Star Wars Galaxy.gg, Chrome, live streaming. That should be set up now. Once your BKM times out, Mandalorians at the Ahsoka. I do have Mandalorians. I guess I can do that for you if that'll help. Definitely, I can help you with that. With whatever I've got. Ooh. Look at that. Look at how much we've raised for the Gungies so far with this up. Didn't mean to put that up, but I'm also not shy about showing people where we're at. Which is awesome. Let's see. You're doing TW. Oh, man. Ba-da-da-da. Def is making me stall, 'cause he wants me to be the hero, but it's okay, 'cause I actually have to write down names for roster reviews, 'cause I didn't do that earlier. I didn't think we'd get to them. Let's see. Got these. Got Crsonic. I think we'll probably only be able to get to 2 or 3. Blackheader. Okay. Alright, Def, my man. Is there anything specific with these Mandalorians? Like, there any specific characters in here that I need? Should I just throw my strongest Mandalorians in here? If I throw like these 5 in here, what do you want me to do? Will this work? Do I need something else? Blind. I blind existed. I mean, I'm not going to use this. Well, I mean, I don't have a lot of dark side Mando. I can do these guys. They're all G12 though. Is that gonna work? Not like great. I know, but they're G12. Like they're not. Is this gonna work for you, Def? Def, you can't leave me hanging here, man. Alright, fine. I don't give a shit. Let's do it. Come on. So, alright, well, I'm not waiting for Spaceman. Spaceman's good at TW, so we're gonna just go to reviews, and then we'll return and help on the back end, I guess. Let's see. Go over here. 80. Let's up over to Discord. Time is it? We're at the 2 hours. Fine. Spaceman doesn't do anything else anyway. I didn't say that. What? All right. 2 hours. We've got Hadez. What's the top 20 of your fleet arena look like? Mostly Leviathans at 7, couple lower. No communication with Fleet Shard. I recommend it. I've talked about this. I talk about this a lot. You know, doing the communication does make life easier for basically everybody. Salt battles, Rebel Roundup, Forest Moon, Places of Power, military interest. Okay, so we're like a lower mid game account. All right, dead set. My 2, yes, we're dead set on SK. So Star Killer and Jedi Knight Luke. After that. So we don't have JML, we don't have Jabba. I enjoy GAC. Are there any favorite characters? Malgus and Bane, those are I'm 11 months from, although it would change if CG ever did the right thing and gave us Old Republic GLs. Cat, Quadme, Malgus, and Maul. So heroes wear space helmets. Let's see what we got here. Swugga.gg. We're going to pop over to this. And 4 million. See, man, like, this hurts. I would love to see this built. At least you're getting some fleet crystals, right? That's nice, but I'd really like to see you getting more. People who don't get fleet crystals, it's fundamentally game-changing to them. Like, they don't know what they're missing. I know, Ali, you and I were talking to Foundling Gaming 4 days ago, who he does stream. He's a nice guy. We had a lot of fun on his stream. He does not get any fleet crystals, but he has like a 12 million account. And like, I think about, he's going to live rent-free in my head for a while. Because I just think about all of the wasted crystals that he hasn't been receiving over such a long amount of time, and how detrimental that can be to a roster to not have that. You're at least getting 50, which is nice. Mostly Leviathans. I think, is it MK6 helps with Leviathan counters? Or is that it helps with mirrors? Can't remember which one I mean, at the very least, you need... I think MK6 helps with It helps with one. I mean, you have everything else 6 stars. And I would try. I don't know if you're doing this yet, but I would try to speed this up by doing maybe 2 refreshes a month. It helps with both the MK6. I would try to do like 2 refreshes a month of this so that you can get yourself in a position where you're getting fleet crystals. Mark 6 with Executor 2, I just can't remember if it works for the mirror or if it works for the Leviathan. But I would definitely try to refresh this like twice a month. Honestly, I try to get this done fast, because if you can start getting fleet crystals 400 a day instead of 50 a day, you're going to notice very quickly how much your game has changed. You have JMK. If you have JMK, military might, let's see. Rebels, on Chewie, Chewbacca. Yeah. No cheap yet. I will tell you that with correct modding, your military might, you say CT1 or Mythic tier. I did military might at CT2 very consistently with Commander Luke, Han Solo, C-3PO, Chewbacca, and R2-D2. Chew-PO didn't even exist at the time. And R2-D2 was my only relic. He was an R2. So, and actually, like, your modding is not... It's not terrible. You should be able to do CT2. You know, I would maybe remod for some more speed on C-3PO just for the event. But the basic idea is to use the event special on everybody. And once you do that, you really shouldn't have too much problems with what you have available to you now. Nothing else really looks egregious when it comes to your assault battles. Master Qui-Gon. I do think, I mean, I'm a proponent of R9ing these guys, but your earlier game, you're at like 4.5, 4.7 million. As a bare minimum, I think G12 is the modding tier. As a bare minimum, I would invest in these guys enough to do the modding tier, even if you have to use Zetas. If you have to use Zetas, I would probably bring them at least to R7 in the short term, just to get better use out of getting those relic materials. It is a very, very, very high return on investment event. And I cannot overstate just how important that is. Curious, I know you said you're working on SK and Jedi Knight Luke. Okay, so working on Hermit, Wampa, your Rolo is already 7 stars. That's nice. And Star Killer, your... Do you mean SK? My next 2 yes is SK and Jedi Knight Luke. And I would do Jedi Knight Luke before Star Killer. And I mean, look, when people say that they are dead set on something, I try not to push away from them. But I really think that you should be going into Caleb, I don't know. I think it's G12. I'm not 100% certain. I'm not 100 if someone wants to check on that, but you know, that's I don't remember every event exactly. I would at least be getting the mod tiering, and if you are getting the mod tiering, great. If you're not, I would be prioritizing that, and if you do have to invest the Zetas to do that, then bring them to like R7. But back to SK and Jedi Knight Luke. Jedi Knight Luke is a really great option for you right now. Star Killer is a great character. I think that if you are someone who likes GAC, modding cannot be overstated ever, and that so you only need 7-star. Okay, so maybe he's doing 7-star. If he's doing 7-star, cool. Or if he's doing that tier without the Zetas, cool. If he needs to invest the Zetas, I do think he should go a little bit further. And at least R7. I think that Jabba's importance to an early game account cannot be overstated. And, like, it's just such an important thing. I think that you would be smarter to go Jedi Knight Luke, Jabba. If SK is that important to you, do SK then, and then do Jedi Master Luke. And Jedi Master Luke will finish off Ground War for you and finish off Military Might, and it'll really just significantly help you when it comes to Conquest and being able to get some of these characters a little bit faster. Get to the beta R7 more, R9 is keypads. Yeah. You're just in this position, and a lot of people who come to me asking for roster help are in the same position you're in, which is like that weird mid-early game stage where there are still return on investment farms that should be prioritized over anything else. So that's how we've drawn a picture before, right? And we've kind of built this up. Well, it doesn't even say SLKR. It says SK, which to me is Star Killer, right? It's so, well, to everybody it's Star Killer. You're in this cool area of the game. I love being in an area of the game like this where I don't have to think for a long period of time. You know, I'm in an area of the game where I kind of have to think about how I'm doing stuff, but I don't have to think about what I'm doing because there's so little. And the mid to late game, there's a lot of thinking that happens. Your area of the game, you don't actually have to do much thinking at all because there is this huge amount of synergy between Jabba, between Jedi Knight Luke, between Jedi Master Luke, between Profundity, and between Leia. Right? And doing all of those things one after the other can be very frustrating and boring because you want to do like the things you want to do. But you kind of set yourself up to move quicker through the ranks. And as someone who likes GAC, Jabba can't be overstated. Having a second capital ship cannot be overstated, right? Those are things that are just so fundamentally important. So if I had this account, keeping in mind that you really want to do SK and Jedi Knight Luke, I would prioritize getting my Executor to a point where you can get more fleet crystals. I would finish Jedi Knight Luke first. I would honestly pause SK short term and do Jabba. Then I would go back to SK, and I'm only saying go back to SK because it's something on your short term non-negotiable list. Then I would be doing Jedi Master Luke, Profundity, so that I have a ship that can be building free shards in the background, and then I would be doing Leia. Again, as for the Duel of the Fate boys, if you are currently doing the mod tier, great. Leave them there. If you are not doing the mod tier because you need to Zeta them, because I don't know, I always Zeta them, then prioritize doing that. And after you Zeta them, get them to R5 to R7, just to make a little bit of extra use out of them. But that's, you know, that's like 8 months. I'm giving you like 8 months worth of work here. Focus on that stuff, and it's not gonna be super fun. Never super fun to do one big farm after another, but it'll get you where you need to go. And as for the new raid, your guild, you know, they're not super hot, so in terms of like where they are on the raid, so you're not really gonna have to do terribly much. in order to kind of help them out. Now, do you have Bo? No, no Bo yet. Keller and Beck. Is there a tag yet for this? I don't know. I don't really even think you're gonna have to put any priority towards this raid, if I'm completely honest. I feel like your guild is just, there's gonna be enough people to carry you to get to that same level. That's what I would do. Let's go to Crsonic, who I know is here. No, we saw you. Now you said, "Ooh, that's me." Have I reviewed you before? I know I reviewed a Sonic before. No, I have not. Okay. 214, right? 214 0 0. Okay, let's check it out. Top 20 Leviathans and P1 Executors. Not anymore. It's an old shard and most people don't play. I comfortably get first. Yeah, I mean, so you're probably in the shard, right? But like when I say coordinating, I don't mean you're talking to them constantly. It's just like the other people in that shard know what's up. The last person to talk in my shard was like 8 months ago. Nobody talks. It's just, it's a payout channel that I check sometimes. This is a late game account. CT1, Series and Shadow CT1, Fanatical Devotion, just the bonus round, Duel of the Fates, 1. Oh, that's gonna hurt my soul. Currently working on upgrading other tunes, Jedi Knight Cal, Poncho Brothers, Maul, Treya, while I wait for Relics to finish LV. Waiting on the Profundi event to roll around as the requirements are done. It's an alt account, so you're having fun. It's an alt, and after these farms, I have no clue what I want to farm. No that's a plan. Fun farms for this account, but nothing that's too counterproductive. Are there any favorite characters? Shards for an important proving characters. We will have all proving ground characters in 4 months. These are some of the hardest accounts for me to review, you know, because if it's an alt account, you don't want to do what your other account is doing, right? And you just want to kind of have fun. And I don't know what fun looks like for you. If we'll stall for a minute. We're gonna stall. I'll sing a little bit since you're here. We're gonna sing this Crsonic song, stalling for him. I don't know how long. The only creator to make up a tune. You come to me, 'cause the other ones are goons. Okay, cool, perfect. That's wonderful. Now we can go. It's really tough to review fun, right? I will say that if I had an alt, which I don't because I just can't stand playing multiple accounts. If I had an alt, it would primarily exist as a platoon junkie for my guild, and I think it would be almost entirely based on helping my guild with platoons, with, you know, like Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, with like Mandalorians, so that my guild can kind of like move ahead and do what it needs to do. I don't know really what that looks like to you. What I will say is that because you're an alt, you can make decisions that maybe aren't the most ROI intensive, like doing something a little too early or a little too late. I think Jedi Knight Cal is a great project for right now because it's a huge help to the guild. Poncho Brothers, I think I would bring these fuckers right to R9. Just because you maybe don't play this account as effectively or efficiently as your other account, but you still want like to build up the constant backlog of free R9 stuff while you're waiting on things. So I definitely see those as two really solid short-term farms. What else did you want to do? Maul and Treya. I don't really see Maul as a high priority character. Are you doing Maul for Vader because you don't have these guys yet? Like, because that's the thing. Like, you don't have the clones. Are you planning on getting the clones when they become free to play farmable? Just because, like, to me, it doesn't even make sense to really want to go for Lord Vader. I'm assuming either I'm catching you at the very tail end of a farm, or you bought the the Lightspeed bundle for this, and now you're just like, oh, I want to finish this off. So for me, this can be like such a tough thing to say, hey, here's what you should do. Yeah, so like, yeah, okay. Is this your mains guild? Is your main in the same guild? Or is this just like your main guild is so much better and you needed to find like a more casual guild for this guy? No, main is in a better guild. Okay. Yeah. All right. So then we don't really care about the raid, right? Because we don't like, this is like your off raid. This is your like sort of team. Your sort of goal or whatever. Man, if I had an alt account, and by the way, to answer the thing about Vanced account, I don't spend a lot of time on Vanced account. I play Vanced account 10 minutes every 2 to 3 days. I don't do most things for him. He does pay me, and he's vocal about that. He does not pay me a lot. I feel bad for him. So I worked out a deal with him that is on the very, very low end, and I do a lot more than we agreed to. But I do want to help him because he does not understand the game very much, and that to me is an interesting challenge. So I wouldn't worry about this next raid. I do think that if this was my account, I would really be building out the foundation of everything. Right? And what that means is, like, look here. I would be building out Profundity to 4 stars. I would be building out Leviathan to 4 stars so that every month those things can kind of just like be happening for free. I would be bringing my Peridia Patrol guys to at least R7. Why? Because it's just free materials. You don't have to worry about, like, is this the right time to do this for my account? Because this is just like a fun account. So do the 4 things you have isolated. Cal, Poncho Brothers, Maul, Treya, Lord Vader, you're just about done with. Profundity, you're waiting on the event. I would be just building out the things that make my life easier and not even questioning whether it's the best time to do it. Because when it's an alt account, it doesn't matter if it's the best time to do it. I know you're not going to have Reva for a while, right? But, like, I would bring these guys to R7. I'd bring them to R7. I'd get my Grand Inquisitor. I'd get Fanatical Devotion to CT2. I would be doing Peridia Patrol. I'd get my Peridia Patrol guys to R7. Honestly, I'd get them to R9, but R7 as a bare minimum. I would be focused on going towards Leviathan. Just because if you even do fleet climb on this account, which it seems like you do, that would make your fleet climb account, or that would make your fleet climb a little bit easier. I would be going on, I would be firing on all fucking cylinders, trying to build out the free on my account. That's what I would be doing right now. All cylinders, the free on the account. You got 100 shards away from Riva. Great. You don't have to do them. I would try to get them done soonish. So that's the thing, man. Like, if you build out all the free stuff right now, you could take breaks, you could like do whatever, you could do fun farms, and then you can come back to things and you'll have all of these materials. That's what I would do. But also the efficiency is fun for me, where I'd say, you know what, I'm just making it so that this account runs itself. Instead of having to actively worry about guild stuff and raid stuff and all of those different things that are going on. So I would definitely do the 4 things you want to do. That's fine. And 2 of those things are things that I want you to do. I would be slow farming these guys, man. Start to slow farm on these guys. Start building them up. 5 battles a day. Don't even wait for them to be accelerated. They'll be accelerated soon, though, and it'll go a little bit faster. But start it right now. Just 5 battles a day. While you're working on that, what did you say? 4 months for all Conquest Proving Ground characters? Fucking great. Start working towards your Leviathan now. Once Lord Vader is done, Leviathan. Spearhead that. Start getting free shards to that. Once your Leviathan stuff is ready, that's when I would work on Grand Inquisitor. Once your Imperial Remnants are 7-star from slow farming them, I would be bringing those 3 to R9. Just burn that shit through. That's what I would do, man. And it's hard to be more helpful than that when it's an alt, because there's just so much personal preference when it comes to an alt account. And when it comes to an alt account, you know, you can't really hard to argue with somebody about what their personal preference is. If any of what I said made sense, because I tend to ramble on. But I'll give you a couple seconds before we move on. If there's like something that's maybe eating at you, or like, screw you, Egg, you piece of shit. Say that too. That's fine. Doesn't bother me that much. Yeah, man. Yeah, I was singing Led Zeppelin. Yes, I was. Well, yeah, man, that is how I would approach where you currently are in the game. And you know, it's what makes sense to me, if that makes sense to you. We have 2 more reviews to do for today, right? Should I do them? I should just do them, right? Like, might as well finish out the queue, just because like there's a possibility that there's no brunch next week. I already did Shira. All right, let's knock them out. Did Hadez, Crsonic, Shira. Okay, might as well. I saw Blackheader is in here, so you can make him happy too. He's at the bottom of the review list for today. Shira is 228. We're gonna say 228 00. We're gonna wait a second. We're gonna wait 30 seconds. We're gonna stall a little bit. We're gonna go back to Discord. Again, we're gonna wait. Camelot. We there? Yes, we are. Okay, Shira. Let's see. Been a member since early on. Not much communication. That's fine as long as like nobody's stepping on each other's toes. We have very little drama. Put a 0. Do your best if you don't remember. Put a 0 if you're not. All challenges are on sim. Awesome. Getting teams up for the new raid, working in mods. I'm at a point where I only need the newest thing, which usually goes straight to R7. Are there any favorite characters? I want to get Mandos up for the SM on Mandalore, but the new raid is first priority. Ones you might think. Well, I also have 2 cat. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Commander Ahsoka Tano, and I was like, how do you have 2 Commander Ahsoka Tanos? And now I realize that what you actually mean is that you also have 2 cats, like actual cats. The interesting thing about accounts like this, if it's what I'm thinking, 12, 13 million, is there's really, like, I don't know what help, what, there's nothing I can, what can I do? Like, what can I, is this Phil's guild? No, he's in Sigma Mandos. There's nothing I can offer you. You're in a guild that's higher than mine. You have an account that has 1 million more GP than mine. When I see accounts like this, what it says to me is like, I just want to show off my account. And I don't really mean that in a negative way. I just mean it in a, I don't really necessarily understand what want from me kind of way. There's not too much I can offer you. You have everything, right? Like, presumably all of this stuff is done. You're maxing out the new raid. You have all of these guys at R7. What can we hope to accomplish other than you? Everybody in your account is at least R5. We can look at your account and say it looks pretty, right? Like, it beautiful. It makes me jealous. You've got a lot of R9s. We can count your R9s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Fucking shit. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 9, 30. I'm sure there's an easier way I could do a compare. 31, 32, 33, 35, 36, 37, 38, 9. All right, I'm bored. 40. 1. They're like, I don't know. What's your raid history? Yeah, sure, Lady Geek. 13 million. You're maxing the raid constantly. Do you have any shitty R9s? Let's see. Are you one of those people that doesn't do any of crappy R9? Well, this was free. You paid $5 for that. So did I. Are you someone that at least has done some R9s for your guild? It pisses me off when people don't do R9s for their guild. Like, come on, dude. Sometimes step up, and when your guild needs an R9, you be the person that does the R9. Oh, does it say it here? Look at that. 54 R9s. So we counted things for nothing. Relic 3. I don't know how you're still in Kyber 2. What do your mods look like? What is this? We're going to run a mod score on this. I never do, but like... mod score. I like... Your mod score, dude, your mod score, man, is lower than mine. This is where I know you said you're working on. I know you said that you're working on your mods right now. They're not terrible. But I think that whatever resources. I don't know how you currently allocate your resources, your crystals. I would definitely be doing my 3 mod refreshes a day. I think I would be refreshing the mod tier of both Peridia Patrol and Duel of the Fates as well. To kind of build this up a little bit. You have a lot of 10, 15 mods. See these like here, this like your 5 to 10 mods. You can see on my account, like I have so very few of those. And I'm trying to get rid of even more of them. I would be looking back at this and I don't even if if a mod doesn't roll 10 speed, I throw it away. Unless it's a gray 5 speed, right? There's no reason where you are in the game for you to have so much here. I think I honestly might even I don't know, it's like 6x refresh mods every day. Because that's what you need. Like you have so much build wise. I don't even give a shit about like special missions. I would be putting all of my resources right now towards trying to get this 12 Omega score of your top 110 to look more like mine, a 20, and I don't even think a 20 is very good. Like I think my 20 is like in the middle of the road. I don't have any other advice for you. No. What should this guy spend his legend tokens on? He has every GL. You spend legend tokens always go towards Omicrons. It's the only thing that makes sense in that store. Everything else is too expensive. Way, way, way too expensive. Is there mod stuff in that store? Like maybe game. There's nothing here. Maybe micro attenators too. If he has a lot of the Omicrons, right? Like we go to his collection, go back over here. What our Omicrons look like tools, what to Omicron. My units. It has most Omicrons. I'm assuming you're buying the pass, so you're getting plenty of Omicrons each month. You're clearly in a TW guild. You like being lazy like me, right? You're missing 14 total Omicrons. Honestly, I would even start buying micro attenators with your Omega stuff, with your Legends tokens. I think you need to spend all of your resources towards modding right now, to get yourself kind of up where you need to be. I don't have much more help than that for you because your account it has everything. You're clear, like you're ready for the next raid. There's nothing that I can offer you at this point other than to say that, if you want like a premium like mod score deep dive, Fat Phil offers mod workshops. Captain Amazing offers mod workshops. They both like really sit into the deep dive of that. And that might be something that you want to consider, kind of get yourself where you need to be. But I don't have much more help for you. And then we have our friend over here, Blackheader, right? So go back to Discord. And we're not going to, before I timestamp this, I'm going to go grab a little bit more water. So give me like 60 seconds. I'll be right back. There we go. There we go. I know. I noticed I was muted. I was just saying that we were stalling until 2:40, and that we are at very close to a record number of viewers between the two platforms. We're at 60 right now. I think 64 is our record for Brunch. That'd be really cool if we get there before we finish up with Blackheader here. But we are at 2:40, so let's get started. Blackheader, mostly Leviathans, a couple of Executors. Coordinating, yes, get first every day. CT3 in everything except Duel of the Fates at R7. How many people watch the Gungies? Over 100, so that's why I said for Brunch specifically. And we've been rated by like before and had like 150, but that was during a GAC stream. We're talking specifically about early morning Brunch streams. There are over 2,000 watch hours on the Gungies on YouTube. I don't know about Twitch. I'm not sure. But there were a lot of people watching on Twitch. I don't know how to check that on Twitch. Currently finishing my Peridia Patrol team. Then I will either farm New Bad Batch to R5 or go for Jabba, depending on how many points my guild will ask for. Are you dead set on continuing? No, I can change my priorities. How highly do you value efficiency? I enjoy having an efficient roster as I can be being mostly free to play. So we're going to rephrase that as being a casual spender. Just a contention point for me. Shards for important proving ground characters. 295 for Luthen. Luthen is good. He's like really solid. I don't know if I consider him important unless you're in the very late game. Ezra, definitely important, especially if you have Rey. Dark Rey, again, outside of this Datacron, I think she is very good outside of this Datacron. But I also think SOKR does a lot without her. She does get useful for like the Ahsoka and like the Leia counters. I don't know if I would refresh for her when we get to proving grounds and everything, but definitely something that you're going to want. Let's go over. Let's check this out. 10 million account. We are climbing with Executor. Burns when I PvP. I've seen this guild before. I've definitely done reviews for people in your guild before. Raids 155 million. All right, so your guild's gonna probably ask for a 3 to 4 million raid score. Don't think Order 66 is not here yet. Um, I'm going to tell you right now, this is a mistake. Padawan, Obi-Wan, and Master Qui-Gon being at R7, it kills me to see these guys at R7, especially an account at 10 million. Like, it just incredibly just destroys my very soul to only have these guys there. I think that this is a short-term mistake that really does need to be corrected. You are working on Bad Batch to R5. Now, Bad Batch to R5 is not going to be your only raid team. That's going to be 1.2 million points. Your guild is really going to want you at like 3 to 4 million. And it seems like you're hitting that 3 right now for Battle for Naboo. Not really any priority here on the clone troopers. About our Jedi Vanguard. I do believe, I would not upgrade this team yet, but I do believe that Kelleran Beck is being set up as like the R5 de facto leader for the new raid. So I think using these guys is probably going to be another 1.2 million for you. They might even be able to go higher. I don't know. I can't recommend you upgrade them yet until we know more. And, you know, a lot of that testing is going to happen next week. So we will know that in the very, very short term. But even then, that's only going to give you 2.4 million. And then clones, if you guys, I think the split, if I remember correctly, it doesn't show it, but I think 5 stars is where you need to be to actually use the characters. That'll give you an extra 300,000, so that's like 2.7 million. We're gonna probably be a while off on these guys. You have no, you don't. So they're probably not going to give you a junk team for that. And again, we don't really know with pirates what a junk team will look like yet. So we're looking at about a 2.7 out of what your guild is going to want out of like a 4. Again, the position that it's really hard for you to be in right now is that because the raid is so close, we want to be cognizant of raid upgrades, but we don't want to do those upgrades until we know whether or not those upgrades will actually do anything for you. So it kind of puts you in that a rough position where I'd even say like Bad Batch should be an R7 team, but I don't know if they'll work well at R7. Based on where their upgrades are, they seem to be that they'll work at R5 and they'll work at R9. So we kind of have to wait on those things. I would say outside of Raid, Duel of the Fates should really be something that you bring up. And you should do that before you bring Peridia Patrol to R7. It's not so much about your guild's ask, Cordy. It's about when I talk about what your guild's gonna ask for, I'm talking about your average raid score as a guild and wanting to maintain that. Now you may have 7 whales in your guild that allow you to not have to do more in the raid, right? So if you might have like 5 or 6 people who do 10 million and then you don't have to worry about it. But I can't look at things like that. I have to look at it as like an average of all members. I'm going to ignore telling you to increase anything for the raid right now just because we're so close. And I don't want to tell you to do upgrades without knowing more about them. I will say Duel of the Fates to R9 should be like an immediate thing before Peridia Patrol to R7. Peridia Patrol to R7 would be a really solid next goal. I personally think they are easy R9s, but at 10 million, I can kind of understand. I can understand staying at R7 with them for right now. But we're gonna ignore that, that other stuff. I don't think it's ever worth is it worth delaying Jabba for that? Let's see. Where is Jabba? I think you actually will not be delaying Jabba to get your guys to R9. Right? I think that because your Duel of the Fates guys are already at R7 and you still need to gear some guys for Jabba, that you can R9 them and still get the relic materials you need, and it will not delay Jabba at all. Again, ignoring Bad Batch from my perspective, because I want to ignore raid stuff until we know more. I think Duel of the Fates right now. Pull the fucking trigger. Jabba, super important. He is an incredibly important farm for literally everybody. Do you have JML? And close to Balin. Not a bad farm. James, but nobody put. One thing I noticed, and I agree with Phil on this, when people don't have JMK, or when they don't have Balin, people put JMK on defense. And when they do have Balin, they don't put JMK on defense. It's kind of like this on-off switch. I don't think that this is necessarily a terrible farm for you. I think this may be the first time that I've recommended Balin outside of the idea of having Peridia Patrol. I think Duel of the Fates is your hardcore de facto first run, needs to be done right now. Jabba should be done in tandem with that. Peridia Patrol to R7 or R9 should happen after Jabba. I do think I can make a case for Leviathan. You should just always deal. You should always have your ducks in a row for fleets, because fleets suck to farm. They're boring to farm, and if you're currently getting first place in Fleet Arena, it's the best time to farm Leviathan, because then you don't have to 7-star it right away. You can kind of keep it below 7 stars and let it build out the free shards until you actually need it. After that, we're honestly looking at like 6 months. I would say I can make a case for Balin at that point, but we're also looking at 6 months, and we don't know what the game is going to look like in 6 months. He's the kind of guy to step on a Lego and act like nothing happened. I love it. While he's crying on the inside, and we don't know if he's crying on the inside because of the Lego or because he's Fat Phil. Now, just kind of going back to the raid stuff, I will say that Bad Batch to R5 is going to be something you're going to want to pause things for almost definitely. Again, I say almost definitely because I can't give that advice until next week when the raid server starts blasting things off and resources off, and that helps me and it helps everybody. But just be prepared to short term bring those guys to at least R5 wherever you are in the other farms. But definitely, Duel of the Fates R9 is a non-negotiable. And it kills me every time I see a roster that does not already have them at R9. Are there any other questions you have for me at all? Ding. A little bit. Like, what color are my shoes? Your question. I'm not wearing shoes. What kind of monster wears shoes in their own house? What kind of monster do that? Does he have anything more to say? Before I go back to TW, cry away the day. Okay. Yeah. Again, you know, you may end up pivoting a little bit next week, depending on what the raid looks like. And what your guild asks for from the raid. Because once again, your guild might have enough whales where you don't have to do very much in the raid at all. But at the same time, you do want to get some personal box. But yeah. So with that said, let's take another look at TW. Let's see where we're at. I think we broke another wall. Ooh, they broke our wall too. That's not good. Oh, but this isn't easy. Oh, I did this wall already. Looks like we're finishing this wall. Nice. And Gungan. Everyone tells me Mandalorians here. And every time I use Mandalorians against Gungans, I get my ass kicked. Take the cord to charge it. Fuck Phil. I love it. I do. Like Def, if you're still here, every fucking time I try to use Gungans against these guys, every fucking time it doesn't work. Literally every time. Just the... Yeah, no, we don't want to do that. Don't want to get stunned. Yeah, I'm aware. I know. Okay, so like this is a shitty Datacron. All I said was they dispelled the buffs on themselves. So we're gonna show Def that I'm at least trying. But it's not gonna work. Sure. Let's do that. God damn it. Basically, I never get a turn, man. Every fucking time I try, I don't even get a turn. Half my team is dead before my turn, before I get a fucking turn. Will it work?
No. No.
Even the fucking opportunity, like...
No.
Just keep getting stunned. Oh, look at that. We got fucking 9 of those. Okay. Wait, which one takes away? He keeps getting on. I've gotten more fucking turns this time than I normally do. I normally don't get any. Oh. We're glad. Dead. Come on. Are you dead? If I get this shield generator, I'll be okay. I think. Maybe. Who even fucking knows? Can't use her fucking move, so. He's gonna go to Whistling Birds before I even get a chance to use her move. Nothing else, I can take out the tank. That'll help whoever needs to clean this up. Maybe. Maybe it'll work now. Who knows? Fucking damage immunity, piece of shit. Okay, well, you know what? I tried for you, Def. Tried. Well, I used the birds, but Jar Jar had damage immunity. And I took out Phalanx because next time, whoever you fights him next time, we don't have to worry about Phalanx. Def doesn't pay attention to me. Piece of shit. He thinks he knows better. These stupid Germans. Stupid Germans. Dumme Deutsche. That's what Google Translate says. Dumme Deutsche. Verdammte Moonborn Imitatorn. That one too. Well, I just wanted to take that one down. I don't know. Well, it doesn't matter. I think we're gonna win this war, but I'm not a W guy. You know. Let's see what's going on in Twitch land. Again, I'm gonna post this link one more time before we finish up and raid out. we have been playing a game for the Gungies. You do feats, you get money. That actual money goes towards the Gungies budget. So come join us for the next week and play this silly game, because that'll be used to make the Gungies better this year. And then Def maybe won't yell at me, because I think he's also an audio engineer, and he yelled at me for my stupid mic. And he's the reason why you can see my mic now. He's like, you're a fucking moron, because you need your mic to be close to your face. And I was like, shut up, German people. Anyway, let's see what's going on in Twitch land. Let us see. Twitch land. We have Nooch is playing Raid Shadow Legends. Lost Womprat is on Dune. Is anyone playing Star Wars right now other than me? Just me. Well, Dune is probably more interesting than Raid Shadow Legends. He will hop on over to raid him there. Yeah, the delay on Twitch is the delay on Twitch. I don't think that I think it's set to no delay, and whatever the delay is just what Twitch decides. Final thought for the day. First of all, thank you for joining me for brunch. But second of all, I am 50-50 on whether there will be a brunch next week, just because I'm going upstate for my my niece's graduation party. And you know, my wife might be coming. So if my wife comes, I'm not staying over. If my wife decides not to come, then I probably will stay over. And I won't know that until, you know, a little bit closer to, but I will let you guys know. But either way, have a great rest of your weekend.